We're now live.
Thank you, Louise. Fine. Well, welcome to my last executive member for Policy and Resources Decision Day, as far as I know, that I will be carrying out. I don't think we have any deputations, am I right?
No deputations.
And there are no key decisions. And we move straight on to Leaders Community Grants Fund. And the recommendation on page 3, approving 8 grants totaling £56,130 from the Leaders Community Grant Fund. Is there any update on that at all, Emma? Or
No, Lisa, I know that you've read the report and seen the applications in detail. We're recommending 8 applications. There are some conditions on some of the applications, as you can see in Appendix 2, but no changes.
Keith, may I raise a point?
yes, you may.
Thank you. It's on the very first of the 8 grants. The rest all look entirely logical. Vinest, Discover You, Love You, CIC. And it's the only one where we're substantially not recommending the full amount that people are asking for. And the suggestion seems to be that that they should apply to the district council for match funding. The immediate logic of which I see, but looking at the wording of the description here, it seems to imply that the people who might benefit from this would come from a wider area than just that district, and that it's more of a Hampshire-wide facility that's being offered. So I'm not quite sure of the appropriateness of just directing it at one district council to fund the other half. There's reference there to Portsmouth and other areas. So I'd just like to understand a little bit more about why we feel that's appropriate.
Certainly, Councillor Collett. There's 2 points there. The first is that in the criteria of the Leaders Community Grant Fund, the expectation is that match funding will be sought unless in exceptional circumstances. So we do prefer applicants to have match funding. And the Vinest one, the focus of activity is on Chalmers Ford particularly. So it's the focal point of the activity will be on Chalmers Ford. So I think in this, the majority of the benefit would be to that district, so to Eastleigh. So the organisation are aware of that fact and haven't raised any kind of concern or objection about the recommendation.
Okay.
Thank
Jonathan.
you.
Yes, mine is just a general question. I don't want to discuss the potential recipient with you all now, but what is the system if we've got a potential recipient of a grant asking us as councillors for help? Who do we go to first to say, is this a bona fide type of application? Is it the leader or is it an officer? And if it's an officer, who is it?
Councillor Glenn, you're very welcome to come to me and for any kind of advice in the application process. Happy to.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you sent me a note on that, Jonathan, and I understand. I hope you're satisfied with that response. The fact is, I add to that. It depends on the type of request it is.
Yeah.
Like I've always taken the view, if it's something that is something to do by devolved budget, well, that's fine. But quite often the amount asked for, or the nature of what's being done, is probably more appropriate for this particular grant fund.
Yeah.
And in which case, Emma is absolutely right. The answer is to get advice from her as to whether, in fact, the application is being completed in the correct way.
Or even if it's the right sort of application.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. Okay, that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, well, I approve the recommendations for the total of £56,130 from my Leaders Community Grant Fund on page 3. Moving on, exclusion of the press and public. I'll just quickly read this statement out. the public to be excluded from the meeting during the following item of business, as it is likely, in the view of the nature of the business to be transacted or the nature of the proceedings, that if members of the public were present during this item, there would be disclosure to them of exempt information within para 3 part 1 schedule 12A to the Local Government Act 1972, and further that in all the circumstances of the case, the public interest in maintaining the exception outweighs the public interest in disclosing the information for the reasons set out in the report. I hope you're all clear on that one. I think I probably read that out for the last time as well. And could the webcast now be stopped, please, Louise?
I'll confirm when we've stopped.